First of all, good evening, everybody, and delighted to be part of this conference. Also, what a better way than through this virtual conference to talk about artificial intelligence or AI. My name is Priya Daniel, and I am the founder and principal architect of 5-Scale Design, which is an architectural practice based in Singapore. And over the course of the next 20 minutes, I'll take you through some thoughts on AI's impact on hotel design. So let's dive straight into it. So a question that often intrigues me: does user experience dictate spatial design, or is it just the other way around? Let's take the example of a business hotel where the express objective is to cater to needs of a business traveler. The response is to design with a more somewhat linear circulation with better efficiencies, of course. In this case, design is impacted by the user behavior. As opposed to maybe a shopping mall where the intent is to guide customers along a longer path to maximize store visibility, where it is quite clear that user experience follows design.
Hi, Priya.
This often ends up more, yes?
Sorry, your screen, the screen share that you're doing is just the conference page. It's not your presentation.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's strange because I see it moving on my screen.
So
is it because it's a keynote?
No, so what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to stop sharing this screen, open your presentation. When you press the share screen, you'll get a list of icons. You're going to have to press the presentation for that.
So I go back to screen, I go back to my presentation, go back to play?
So
or...
stop sharing the screen.
Okay. Yep.
So now when you press share screen, you get an option for what all you should be getting different options. So you have your entire screen and application window. So you have to go to application window and press the presentation.
Ah, I see. Okay. Maybe I'll just continue from where I stopped, or do you want me to start from the beginning?
You can continue from where you stopped, that's fine.
Okay. All right. So this is where, okay. So,
right. Okay.
Yep. As opposed to a shopping mall where the intent is to guide customers along a more circuitous path, like I was saying. So while these instructions are oversimplified, we often find ourselves operating in the gray in between. So, and the proliferation of AI, machine learning, big data helps us really establish a more dynamic relationship between the user and design. Let's break this discussion into 3 parts, which is planning, spatial design, and performance. The first segment that I would like to discuss is the very initial planning stage. In this, let's view it through the lens of, say, the design process, how this leads to clarity and creativity, BIM, and modular construction. So when we as architects are given a design brief for a hotel, say, the whole point of this exercise at this time is a game of mitigating constraints into a solution for a design. That is to say, to resolve complex brief from a starting point through sequence, making the right decisions based on logic. Now, there's always a set of fixed parameters and a value add. A fixed parameters would be universal to all disciplines, like underlying rules and baselines, commonalities in the design process, which now can in most projects be done through AI to create an amount of intuition like this floor plan here and iterations based on neural networks and behavioral data. And based on this intuitive algorithmic thinking that enables the expression of parameters, guess patterns, and rules that define, encode, and clarify the relationship between design intent and the design response, as seen here for a project from sequence 1 through 6. So once we have all this data, this frees up our time for the main part of the value add, the creative and practical process that we as architects excel in and can focus on, which cannot be done by AI. which gives clarity on the design for operators to already make their analysis on bigger and more long-term discussions like cost, management, etc. This background and mix results in faster outcomes in design, like best space maximization, and to create floor plans and later experiences from a very human perspective for humans. So AI is also capable of informing design for larger scale interaction. For those who have smaller screens, it may not be very clear, but this is a plan of a district in New York. The various colors that are on the screen denotes ages of buildings, like the few reds that are seen are ages of buildings built between 1765 to 1875. And the really dark blue are the more recent ones. So in this way, collecting large data on a larger scale, we get layers of meaningful and useful data, which helps design buildings and integrate to create even larger smart cities based on the way people interact with their surroundings and how they feel in public spaces based on context and the history of a place. This is very important as AI can cut down the time it takes to plan and design structures significantly through a system called Building Information Modeling, BIM. And computer-aided design has already been instrumental in creating 2 and 3D model of buildings, but BIM takes that step further and incorporate product information, time and costs, giving an architect the entire. BIM works with other design software programs as well to give a full picture of a structure, including concept design, detailed design, analysis, documentation, construction, maintenance, and even renovation or demolition plans. So if leveraged appropriately, AI can take that data and identify trends or inefficiency or even errors, allowing architects to design better, longer lasting projects without wasting much time on the data analysis. For example, when we overlay and integrate models of different disciplines, like an air conditioning duct interfering with a major column in a building, we can eliminate these kind of errors very early on. So designing these environments, gathering the AI processing data, we really can design faster, smarter, and cheaper. And these issues don't come up at, say, the time of value engineering. We really cannot leave out modular construction, which is certainly going more mainstream now. The whole modular process certainly shaves off a couple of months from the construction schedule compared to traditionally built property. Other benefits of prefab also includes reduced noise, waste, and less disruption to the site and neighborhood, like because some sites are very tight and in urban or semi-urban locations. Mostly a lot of significant changes are on way in how hotels are constructed, with entire rooms even being fabricated off-site. Hotels are really changing, and they're changing very fast, aided by the power of AI and top technological advancement. So it's not only helping to stay relevant amongst the modern traveler, but also technology has helped streamline operations significantly. Let's now look at how spatial design is impacted by AI. I would like to further break this down into a few broad categories, where we use digital design to automate process, circular and sustainable design, and be less wasteful and have a circular economy, and how all this impact behavioral design during its post-occupancy stages. So what do we actually mean by spatial design in hotels? It's really everything to do with the process to generate the design, the implementation and creation of efficiently well laid out spaces that respond to time and requirements. This impacts all major areas of a hotel, like the front lobbies, the circulation spaces, guest rooms, and of course the back of house area. Let's look at AR and VR, where we literally walk clients through a structure before it's built via these programs. And it's almost become very mandatory and like a requirement that clients accept I expect, and even clients or channel partners that we work with, they all need this already to see any kind of, to really walk through and have a real world experience with the proposed buildings without having even to break ground yet. It's really possible to simulate everything right from the aesthetics to the sounds, and feedback can be implemented into the design immediately before money is even spent on materials or construction. So moving on to guest rooms, with your mobile phone doubling up as almost your check-in pass, your door key, etc., front lobbies may get smaller, and all you would really need is a small front office, mainly for troubleshooting or printing of accessories, which even robotic screens can help you with. It certainly also helps with some robots having a sense of personality and humor. This next clip is of the robots from Changi Airport in Singapore. So with AI, you literally walk through the door to the lobby, bypass the check-in area, and guide it to your room by your smartphone and some dynamic digital signage. And this translates to maybe potentially wider corridors to accommodate cleaning and delivery robots, along with the flow of guests to be seamless. We usually question our own ability to deliver a clear user experience and interface. Let's look at probably how far complex situations have evolved over the years. What you're looking at now is a cockpit of a spacecraft, and you can now see things have dramatically evolved from the Apollo to the Dragon 2. And with increased AI and automation, this obviously places a lot of emphasis on the control centers, which is an essential part of hotels like the back of house areas, where we could see them in a more streamlined and sophisticated manner, reducing space allocated to them. I'd like to move on further into the guest rooms. It really isn't much of a stretch to imagine all of these already, if not coming soon, like smart luggage, news delivered on mirrors already, motion sensitive controls, especially since a lot of these have already become widely marketed consumer tech. So now we look at robots delivering luggage from your taxi drop-off to the guest rooms. One only needs to look at how the smart luggage vertical is growing. This could effectively mean changing staff receiving systems as well as physical storage required for these. Here's a small clip on Ovis. So now let's take a look at the flexibility and possibility that emerge from there. And again, we are going back to look at these through the lens of tech that is already prevalent. The next video is a product from Lululemon, which you must have seen, but I'll just show you again.
When you look into the mirror, what do you see? A chance to grow stronger. An opportunity to push yourself. Room to be at your best. The mirror is a window to a fitness experience the world has never seen before. No matter who you are or where you are, the mirror lets you work out with world-class trainers in live or on-demand classes, complete with encouragement when you need it, or don't think you need it. You've got it.
We see now how your room can get converted to your own personal fitness area, or these mirrors could also be used as your TV itself, where you receive information and business reminders whilst you get ready in the bathroom. These could also translate into lesser square footage required for the common gym. And all of this technology, which can be configured to user preferences in the rooms, and as AI continues to learn your preferences as you use it, it is easier to imagine the ramifications of the room design itself. When you have surfaces for multidimensional utility, it affects spatial design of the room. Now we also have the ability to turn glass walls of a bathroom opaque, or even add or change the imagery on the glass. If reconfigured and placed near the external window, this means the possibility of more daylight into the depths of the room while not being used. Intelligent room and bathroom controls, even at the shower, bring new conveniences and spatial adaptation. A glass screen doubles up as your TV, perhaps eliminating even the need for your TV console. AI is continuously learning your preferences for people, then allocated to people who enjoy less and would rather shut off from technology. I can also provide these configurations for you. Through the above examples, we have already run through how utilizing existing space can be personalized to its users. Now, how about a scenario where we end up creating more space within the room or outside the room? Here's a small clip from Bloom Frame. So as you can see, the possibilities are really endless. Again, all this ties to user preferences because AI is continuously working in the background. So say during times of low occupancy, some balconies may require even lesser maintenance, not only tying AI to user experiences, but also operationally of the building. So for example, you want to remove X number of balconies a year, that would dramatically remove number of areas to clean, to reboot, etc. So working with big data, what really are the outcomes? As we are going down this, the picture of a very dynamic relationship between user and design becomes more obvious. Video feeds collect data on people's behavior and usage patterns at every stage. AI gives us an opportunity to sort of use it as a science of observations to give better design and real estate solutions. Even like space optimization in getting more sellable square meters or identifying spaces and giving them a new program to keep it dynamic and evolving. So remember the time we spoke about reducing front lobby areas? So space gets freed up for newer program. So program that could even benefit and integrate the local communities and around it, for example. So some traveling guests just want to stay in and not head out. Setting up some culturally relevant stalls within this area, probably during a harvest festival or the like within that area, could allow guests to get a local flavor powered by local communities who provide hotel for a commission for it. Guests can really experience without even stepping out of the hotel, the local flavors. It could be regional art, it could be other brands, etc. And once these festival or a seasonal artwork is over, this can morph into something else. So this ties into space optimization. You have AI continuously collecting data, which is only going to help hotel operations make smarter and more conscious space optimization. You really blur the boundaries between the inside and the outside with the aim of multi-dimensional and functional use of space. Finally, let's look at our third category, which is hotel performance and how it is really impacted by AI. So, software tools and programs can now make building calculations and environmental analysis. There is so much data at our fingertips these days that pulling information like temperature, weather data, material ratings, and more, all of which would otherwise require a significant time to compile, can really be done very easy now. Smart tech also gives architects a way to build sustainability right into line with building performance solutions such as smart lighting or smart stormwater management systems, and really can work these into the blueprints, ensuring sustainability is right from the let-go. Penetrating into the wellness areas within the room, continuous air monitoring, lighting levels, could really be adjusted to help you acclimatize to a new time zone by resetting your circadian clock. For example, this is possible by installing a controllable bright wall or a table lamp light with the right specifications with guest rooms. So even though the future hotel may really have more robots, so to say, we all know that staff performance is key in any hotel. And with simple AI interventions like this one that I'd seen in the Changi Experience Center at the Jewel in Singapore, was one of a very smile challenge kiosk, where it is equipped with multiple facial markers tuned to recognize what really constitutes a great smile. An algorithm decides who wins a personality contest, and the challenge is very simple. You flash a megawatt smile, incorporating all this into customer training and experience. So interventions like a simple kiosk like this can make staff training programs more effective, interesting, really gives recognition and reduces the need of seminar rooms sometimes. And this could even be applied to an overall reduction in staff, which we missed out earlier, which would mean lesser staff locker rooms, canteens, etc. So as evident from all this, we're really talking about a creative, intuitive, adaptive, embedded, more prevalent, dynamic, and yet very unique experiences and spaces. It really goes without saying that all of us need to be more data literate and learn how to apply actual analysis to have a seamless and responsible design. So I would like to conclude by summing this up and saying, like any good design, the true genius of AI for the built environment can truly be felt when it really cannot be felt at all. Thank you. If anyone has any discussions or thoughts on the topics, feel free to contact me. Our contact details are on our website. And thank you very much, Hotelivate, for this opportunity and interesting topic.